a while back, when Common and Pete Rock's album dropped, yes, the same one we reviewed just the other day, listeners and
Just the
viewers,
other day. Yep.
the Auditorium Volume 1, when that album came out a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
Ninth Wonder, super producer, um, tweeted this here tweet. He said, "This Common and Pete Rock album begs the conversation I've been having with folks for at least 20 years now. Adult contemporary hip hop needs its own category.
Mm-hmm.
Word to Do It All from the Lords of the Underground. We've been said this, homie." Several exclamation points. And so people have been reacting to that. It's created an interesting conversation. I'll read this one person's reaction because I think Knife Wonder's response, uh, kind of puts a cherry on top, or rather wraps up his point very nicely. Someone responded saying, "Not at all that deep, bro. Album is fire. I can recognize that as a hip hop head.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, who's into Taylor Swift, can recognize it. Let's leave it at that instead of trying to magnify differences." To which Ninth Wonder said, "Tell that to the moment in music history when they created the term neo soul. It not only separated from other R&B styles, but it damn near came with a starter kit."
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a great way to wrap up his point.
Mm-hmm.
But someone we know and love disagrees with Ninth Wonder. Q-Tip says he disagrees. Someone said it'll increase the division. No doubt that's one of the motives, SMH. Q-Tip says, I actually agree. It should just remain as is. Someone else said, to me, it's just hip hop. I never considered a recent Nas release contemporary hip hop, nor do I consider the new Common adult contemporary. Q-Tip once again says, totally agree. But a lot of folks inside are pounding the table for it. And so Q-Tip disagrees with Ninth Wonder. I think this is a very interesting topic.
Definitely.
Um, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Many years ago, as an artist and a fan of hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
I heavily disagreed with subgenres. I thought, man, we're just a beautiful umbrella of music and it should stay that way. But I think Ninth Wonder has a great point. Should Common be in the same category as the drill rappers? Should Common be in the same category as all the sappers, the ones who sing and rap simultaneously?
I've never heard
I
that.
did not make up the term sapper. That is a term my best friend Kia made up many years ago.
Okay.
Drake
I don't
and
think I've heard
Common,
that.
do they belong in the same category? What about Future and all the people who use tons of auto tune for the auto tune sing rap combo? Like Quavo put out a great record with Lana Del Rey recently. It was Quavo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should that be in the same category as Nas and Common's music? I today understand it. And there are lots of other genres that have subgenres. I would argue that many times we already use subgenre names for hip hop.
Yeah.
There are drill songs,
Mm-hmm.
there's trap music,
Mm-hmm.
there's boom bap. We already have a bunch of subgenres. And I think today, in the digital era, when everything is about your niche, your category, I think that makes a difference. And so I'm going to side with Ninth Wonder. I think we should have some subgenres in the umbrella of hip hop. Rock and roll has many subgenres. And then we even have alternative, which when we were kids was called alternative rock. Today it has expanded beyond rock, and they kind of just throw what they deem weird and uncategorically defined music as alternative.
Yeah.
But
I think country
I
music
agree
has
with
artists
Ninth
like
Wonder.
that too.
I'm sorry, we were talking at the same time. One moment.
Sorry. I was just saying that I think country music has genres like that too.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what happens in country music except uh Tipsy and Beyonce. But I think yes, I think subgenres today make a lot of sense when so many people are fighting for streams, when so many things are about playlisting. A
Hmm.
lot of times we have people putting things on their own playlist, including myself. My playlists are genre and mood based. A lot of things today are. I think today it makes a lot of sense to have a subgenre. And last thing I'll say, so do these award shows.
Hmm.
The award shows do the same thing. Best melodic rap song, contemporary R&B,
Well,
traditional R&B.
yeah.
Why
That's
not?
that's why I think it's actually necessary.
Okay, talk
Um,
about it.
so I get not separating, but I, I think that that's a little too purist of an idea. Um, I think that allowing for subgenres to happen, I think it moves with the times, and it also acknowledges that there are different types of artists out there. It acknowledges that there are different lanes. Um,
Absolutely.
if you lump, I think it's actually narrowing, and I think it's diminishing how wide of a range of talent there is that falls under the hip hop slash rap. I know they're not the same thing, but I'm just saying under that umbrella,
Right.
you can put a lot of different types of artists under that umbrella, which means you can branch out of that top
And we
genre.
already do.
Right, we do, but
Like
I
people say
also
all the time, well, Drake is hip hop, but not really because he's pop. People say all the time, all the guys who do like the singy auto tunes thing,
right,
drill, trap.
right.
I also think, I know I'm cutting you off, I'll shut up after this, but I also think if you have the subgenres for everyone who cares about sales and who's number one, it's easier to have those conversations.
But that's what I,
Because when T.I. is saying, I'm the king of trap music, well, it would
who are
be
the other
easier
trap
to know
rappers?
that.
So
Right.
that's what I was about to say. Even when it comes to awards, I think
Mhm.
that, and I mean, I don't want to credit the people who create these awards with anything because I feel like it's all fluff. But the reality is that's the closest thing we have to measuring different subgenres. And I actually think that there's a reason why when when bad examples, I don't want to offend anybody.
Like should Benny the
Beyonce
Butcher? Oh, go ahead, go.
when Beyonce, I'm not using hip hop, I'm gonna use R&B. When Beyonce and Janae Aiko are in the same category, it may be confusing to some people.
Right.
And a lot of people may feel like, how is one of them supposed to win with the other one in that category?
Right.
And Beyonce's not never a good example because Beyonce is on a plane by herself.
Yeah.
So
She's in a
that's
different
fair.
category.
But my point here is there are artists who align more with one another than they do with everyone.
Of
That's just a
course.
fact. There's gonna be the R&B that's gonna be way more pop. Like there's a reason why we've had to have a conversation about SZA and Beyonce being in the same category
Yeah.
because they fall
And
into
I
a
hate that
genre,
shit.
right?
I
But
get upset every award season when I'm like, okay, artist who fits here, artist who fits here, artist who doesn't. Like, that's why I was gonna bring up Benny the Butcher. Like,
yeah,
if Benny the Butcher and Conway, Griselda, if
right.
Griselda are the kings of boom bap, I'm giving an example. I'm not saying they are or not, but if they're the kings of boom bap, because of the resurgence. And today people feel no one does boom bap better than them. Again, an example I'm making up. I'm not saying yes or no. But if that is what is being reflected through the fans, the sales, the impact on the genre, why should they lose an award to Drake because his song was more popular and
Right.
because he does stuff that the pop artists do and has a unlimited budget? Like, if you separate it, then there's no reason for Drake to be in the category. And I let me be clear, I've said this before. I still think they put people in categories they don't belong to at the awards.
Of
But
course, because there
this
will
will
be
lessen
overlap.
that.
There will be
Sure, but this would
overlap.
lessen that. Like, Drake is clearly the king of melodic rappers. There's no question there. I don't know who you even put there that could compete with him in that subgenre if it exists.
Mhm.
But it makes sense that Quavo would be there, Future would be there, and the likes of those artists. Why would those artists be in the same category as Benny the Butcher? I don't know why Benny the Butcher keeps coming to mind, but my point is Common, who this conversation started with, if Common has an amazing album and is nominated for an album of the year, I don't know, I'm freestyling here. But if he does, it would suck that he would lose to the Party Next Door and Drake album that's rumored to be coming out because that's totally different music.
Well, right, because I was even thinking like you're saying Common, but like imagine Common and Future ending up in the same. They don't belong in the same cat. They don't do the
Right,
same thing. They're not selling
right.
the same product, and that's okay.
Nope.
But because of the fact that like I just think it's so limiting, and I think we're limiting ourselves as a culture if we are subscribing to this idea that there should not be subgenres. I don't like it. It happens everywhere else. And I'm not a believer in it happens everywhere else, so it has to happen here. However,
No,
I
but it's
think
fine.
that there are too many people, there are too many talented people that fall under hip hop to create those boundaries. I
Yeah,
think opening it up allows for us to give flowers to
yeah.
specific types of artists. It
Like
allows
Linkin Park
us
is not in the same category as the people who do death metal. Like, it's not.
right. So and also speaking of passing the baton, I also think that it allows for that to happen in a more seamless way. Like we can actually see, okay, so like Kanye started this wave, right? And now all of these people fall under this sort of thing that Kanye did. But that's not the only thing that exists out there. Maybe for a time it was, but that's not the only thing that exists out here. I just feel like it opens things up, and I don't think there's anything wrong with opening things up. I'm more concerned about opening things up to other people outside of the culture than I am about opening things up within the culture. I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, no, I don't want to invite you to the cookout. I just don't, and I've said why. So that's that. But yeah.
I'm with you.